Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and completely demystify the new English Language Proficiency Standards, or ELPS. If you're an educator, you already know that supporting our emergent bilingual students is hands down one of the most important, but also demanding parts of our day. The standards have recently gone through some pretty major structural changes, and honestly, that can feel totally overwhelming when you already have a million things on your plate. But hey, if you're not, my goal for this explainer is to break down these updates so clearly that you can walk away with practical, actionable strategies you can literally use in tomorrow's lessons.
So take a quick second to really reflect on this prompt. What is one challenge you face when supporting your emergent bilingual students? Seriously, think about it for a moment. Is it finding the time to modify all those assignments? Is it making sure they're actually grasping that really high-level academic vocabulary? Or maybe it's just trying to get them to speak up and participate in group discussions. Keep that specific challenge in the back of your mind as we go through this material, because today we are tackling those very real hurdles head on. We're going to look at how a simple shift in our approach to diverse language needs can actually make your teaching way more effective and, honestly, a whole lot smoother. Here is our blueprint for today. First, why the ELPS changed. Second, what is actually new. Third, scaffolding instruction for all. And fourth, ELPS in action. Let's get right into it. Section 1. Why the ELPS changed. Moving beyond compliance.
Go ahead and raise your hand. Yeah, even if you're just sitting at your desk alone right now, if you regularly write language objectives on your whiteboard. Well, we are finally moving away from that old mindset where language standards felt like a rigid compliance checklist, heavily driven by those end-of-year TELPAS assessments. Something we just had to get through. Instead, the philosophical shift is moving us directly into active, daily language development. Integrated right into your lesson planning, the new standards are designed to be a living, breathing part of your everyday instruction. We are no longer teaching language just to pass a test. We're utilizing daily language instruction so that students can actually access the core content you're so incredibly passionate about teaching.
Section 2. What is actually new? The core updates in Chapter 120. 4. That is the magic number here. The absolutely crucial point is that we must plan opportunities for all 4 language domains every single day. We're talking about listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Now, it is incredibly easy in a busy classroom to rely mostly on reading and writing, right? We pass out a text, we ask for a written response. But the updated ELPS emphasize that emergent bilinguals need intentional, planned opportunities to listen to academic language and to actually speak it out loud with their peers every single day. If we aren't planning for all 4, we are literally leaving their language development to chance. 5. The standards have now expanded to 5 distinct proficiency levels. And wow, this is a fantastic update for our precision as educators. It brings in both general and content-based proficiency level descriptors, or PLDs. By breaking this down into 5 levels, we get a much more granular, accurate picture of exactly where a student is in their language journey. It totally removes the guesswork. It allows you to target your support exactly where that specific student needs it, whether they're just beginning to produce words or they're highly advanced but just need a little help with complex academic syntax. Now, understanding the difference between these 2 frameworks is probably the biggest game changer, the most important mindset shift you'll make today. Teachers are constantly asking, how do I teach the ELPs when I barely have time to teach the TEKS? Well, here is the secret. The TEKS tell us the content, the what we must teach. The ELPs act as our ultimate toolkit for how to support language alongside that exact same content. You aren't teaching 2 different lessons. You're using the ELPs as the vehicle to deliver your TEKS. They provide the strategies that ensure your emergent bilinguals can actually understand and demonstrate mastery of the what. Section 3. Scaffolding instruction for all. Linguistically accommodated content-based instruction. To truly pull off this accommodated instruction in your classroom, you've got to make sure your lessons consistently hit 3 required actions. First, the content must be communicated clearly. This means using comprehensible input, maybe you're slowing your speech just a bit, using gestures, or relying on strong visuals. Second, it has to be sequenced. You're introducing concepts in a really logical order, building up that background knowledge before you throw complex academic vocabulary at them. And third, it must be scaffolded. You are providing temporary supports. Think of them as the ladders they need to reach the really high expectations of your lesson.
Notice how the actual rigor of the assignment stays the exact same, but the specific scaffolds evolve step by step as the student progresses. Let's imagine you're teaching a really complex historical event. A student in the pre-production phase isn't going to write a 5-paragraph essay just yet, but they absolutely can sequence visuals to show they understand the timeline. The rigor of understanding that timeline is totally intact. A beginning student might use word banks to label it. An intermediate student relies on sentence stems to explain cause and effect. High intermediate students are engaging in structured conversations with peers about the event, and advanced students are holding full-blown academic discussions. You didn't lower the bar, you just gave each student the specific linguistic stepping stone they needed to clear it.
Section 4. ELPS in action. Practical classroom application.
All right, let's move right from theory into action. Think about one scaffold you already use in your classroom and consider this incredibly simple yet powerful language objective. Say your core content objective is to explain the water cycle in a science class. That's the what. But how do they communicate it? Just by posting the phrase, explain using I noticed and this makes me think on your board, you are perfectly supporting the students' speaking and writing domains. You're giving them the academic framework to express their scientific knowledge. It takes maybe 30 seconds to write on a whiteboard, but for an emerging bilingual student, it is the absolute key that unlocks their ability to participate confidently. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, provocative question to think about. What strategy will you implement this week to increase access, participation, and achievement for your students? Are you going to add sentence stems to your science lab? Will you guarantee a structured speaking opportunity during math? Plan intentionally for language starting tomorrow. Don't let it be an afterthought. Ask yourself what support you need from your campus to make this transition a reality. Because when we embrace the ELPs as a daily tool rather than a compliance checklist, we empower every single student to find their voice. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Have a great week and happy teaching.